Welcome, welcome, welcome. No clap right here, no seal right here. Keep up, episode 48, Leaking to the Choir, in celebration of the Mueller Report. We don't really get political on here, but just Mueller, Moeller, who knows?
Doesn't matter as long as we see the report.
Dingleberry, who knows?
Even if it's 95% redacted, we're down. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Welcome. Not William Barr. Mark Lamaco. So like I said, welcome to Keep Up, guys. I'm your host, still Vincent.
I'm not that Jay-Z.
And we have our guest.
Mark Lamaco.
That's right. Welcome. He is a vlogger himself. He has The Life of Mark on YouTube.
Yes.
Subscribe to that, please.
Check it out.
Leave a comment. Subscribe, like I said. Follow him. Do what you got to do, man. Watch his videos. Does a lot. What do you specialize in, actually?
Oh, on my YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
I am looking to build a Filipino diaspora audience.
Ooh.
So I'm really, I'm talking everything and anything about what it means to be Filipino, whether that's like living here in the United States or, and growing up here, or like being back in the Philippines. So there's going to be a lot of different types of contents there moving forward.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We went to the Philippines together, actually.
We did. It was so much fun. And we're going back again in 2020.
Oh my god.
So
Vince can reconnect with his roots now.
Vince is really Southeast Asian, like Mark.
That
Mark-
It's very popular there. It was
Mark.
very popular.
Oh, yeah. With the trans community.
The trans community loved Vince.
They really did.
Yeah.
So now you know your market. Like your demo is trans Filipino.
Yeah.
He was like a trans magnet,
It was definitely a trans
That's
magnet.
hilarious.
Trans-Pacific, trans-magnet, whatever you want to call it.
It was a wonderful time.
Oh, I had a blast. I think Mark missed the joke because I think Mark did not pay attention that I am 1% Filipino, bro.
What?
You didn't see my Ancestry.com when
did not
I
see
sent you a
that.
text and I sent him a Facebook message.
Hilarious.
But he be busy, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't appreciate the work that I put into his friendship.
Well, welcome to the family.
Thank you. That's what I was saying. I was like, I made the pilgrimage. And I didn't even know it. The Filipino.
Came back to your homeland.
I did. I did.
Where did that 1% come from?
I don't know, man. There must have been like a bachelor party or something like that along the way.
As long as you have a good mix of.
I love it. If there is any Asian I wanted to be, it was that.
Yeah, Filipinos are the best.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I grew up with Filipinos. I used to like play karaoke with them like growing up, and they were my favorite anyway. They were my favorite. So I was like, yes. I'm coming home.
Did you grow up in a Filipino neighborhood in Queens?
No, I didn't. But I had
There was a lot of Filipinos and everywhere in Queens.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Queens in general, yes.
Yeah.
In general, where I live, not so much. Maybe like Rego Park.
Yeah,
It's
not too much
it's
there.
near it's near
more
me,
Ecuadorians,
Flushing.
Mexicans,
Yeah,
Latinos,
yeah.
yeah.
Casino Boulevard, like near Queens College and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're all New Yorkers.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, this
We're-
is a real New Yorkers talk.
That's
show.
right.
Yes.
That's
So we're
right.
getting specific, talking
Yeah.
about Rego Park and shit.
I know.
Yeah. For the non-locals out there, we actually have some international fans. We have some people in California.
Ooh, what up, Callie? I love you.
It's practically international.
I saw some people in Illinois. I know. I saw some people from Illinois. So yeah, we have some Ireland. I've seen from
Ooh.
Malaysia. Yeah,
Yeah.
Indonesia. Yeah,
Let's do it.
dude. So we have some
Spread the
fans.
love.
That's fun.
Shout out to those guys.
Where did you guys come from? I'd love to hear from you.
Right,
How
that
did
would
you
be dope.
find us?
They're kind of quiet. We have to encourage. Please
Yes.
encourage people to engage with our
you
content.
have our social handles. Just it's not. We're approachable.
Yes, we are. Not that Jay-Z. What's yours?
Mark Lamaco. No, is it Mark? Oh wait. My IG is at Mark Lamaco.
That's right.
Yes.
And-
I was thinking about switching into the Life of Mark, my YouTube channel, but I was just like, I don't know. I'll keep my
So
real
this
name.
week's cliche is leaking to the choir, and I was inspired by, like I said, how do you say it now?
Preaching to the choir.
Well, no.
Oh,
Well, leaking to the choir is what our episode is called. But
Got it.
Robert
Mueller.
the third. He just released a report on Trump. It's going to be redacted and sent in by May, I believe, by William Barr, the new Attorney General, who just made it through. Who was the one right before him who was like appointed?
I can't remember. Sessions.
Sessions, but in between. There was
There was
somebody,
someone in between
there was an
Sessions and
interim.
Barr?
Yeah.
Oh, the AG.
who? I mean, this administration has had so much turnover.
True.
I can't even keep track.
I can't even
my
keep
head is
track,
spinning.
honestly.
Yeah.
But do you guys really care? I don't know.
True. But yeah, it's not solely about that. I'm just saying that's what inspired me.
Yeah.
So, preaching to the choir, according to UrbanDictionary.com, means that you are trying to make believers out of people who already believe or convince people who are already convinced. What are your shining examples of preaching to the choir?
Well, I mean, I hear Republicans talking a lot about how liberals just shout into an echo chamber, and I'm like, that's literally what everyone does. We talk to our liberal friends, Republicans talk to their Republican friends, and it's like shouting into, because you're all just in agreement, so it's nice to have people who don't always agree with you, so they can say, like, you're taking it too far, or you're not taking it far enough.
That's where I learn best.
From other people, from people with different opinions.
That's where I learn best.
I mean, it's, but there's a limit to that. There's a limit.
No, you're right.
There's a limit. I do have a line.
I think Huffington Post is preaching to the choir, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like it's the same tone.
You heard that, Ariana?
Audience, it's not Ariana anymore. It's
right.
I think they're shifting their gears a little bit.
Okay, what do you mean? Give me more context.
There's more Americana stories in there, which I think every media outlets are thinking about right now. Anyway, yes, because America is huge.
Okay.
But it is a lot of, like, I think a lot of the writers are probably around our age. We all grew up similarly or have, like, the same kind of lifestyle or opinion. So it is very much like, because I listen to a podcast that's for The Bachelor. But it's two HuffPo writers, and they take, like, a feminist spin on how, like, The Bachelor. So
that's great. I would listen to that.
It's like an oxymoron, a feminist spin on The Bachelor.
That's why they do it, because they're like, and they rate, like, feminist fails over the episode. But I had to stop listening for a while, because it was like, you're kind of not getting what the fun is of the shit. Like, they hate when women fight with each other, and I'm like, that's the point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's reality TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to Bad Girls Club?
I know, I want to see some weave getting ripped out.
Word. Fuck it, yo. But anyway, so that is, so let's get down to what the fuck happened to us this week. And let's start off with Mark. Anything cool happened to you this week? Or someone that happened to someone else?
What did I do this week?
Did you shoot an episode or
something strange that happened?
I met two amazing artists, performers who are performing at Carnegie Hall today.
Do you want to shout them out?
Yeah, Alicia Hall Moran and Jason Moran. They are composers, performers. They're performing a concert called Two Wings, which is about the Black music during the Great Migration in America.
Wow.
So this is like part of
It's like a very specific show.
They're amazing. Yeah.
It's like
but they mix
Cook,
genres in the concert.
Who would that be? Like, what artist would that be?
A lot of it is original stuff, but they mix genres with it. So
they're trying to capture that time.
So
I'm trying to think if there's artists that I would know.
I did a bunch of Instagram stories with them for so they're. I'll show them to you later. Yeah.
Related or are they married?
They're husbands.
Okay.
They're husband and wife.
Wasn't sure
or
if
wife and husband.
Right. They could have been brother and sister. I wasn't sure where we were going with this one.
Yeah. So Jason is Alicia Moran's husband.
Okay. What about Jason Mraz? Where does he fit into
Jason?
Jason.
He's on a beach somewhere jamming with Jack Johnson.
Yeah, I'd be hanging out with him.
You'd be hanging out with him?
He's a cutie,
What do you guys think about Jussie? What do you guys think about Jussie Smollett from Empire? What do you? We got a timeline of what's going on real quick. He
started the beginning.
Supposedly he staged a MAGA beatdown.
Well, first it started with, we thought that he was the victim of a hate crime.
Yes, and he had the noose around his neck. He kept the noose around his neck before he filed the report.
He was in the hospital first, right?
Yeah, I think he filed the report.
But he kept it on, though. Yeah, but he kept it on.
Yeah.
He kept it on for the police to check out, to inspect. And there was a lot of fishy elements to it. Then it reversed on him that he had set up the whole thing with his personal trainers.
Yeah.
They were also extra crew members on the show Empire. They were of Nigerian descent, I believe.
It's like they were connected. And he paid them there is a check to them from him for $3,500 for training, but
there's text messages. They showed the text messages that corroborate with that.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't really have a stance on it yet. But
their
anyway,
lawyer said, he
it's 16 charges.
But also, then it was like, can you do me a favor? I paid you for this training, but that's what she
still
said.
Murky.
Yeah.
Still,
That's what their lawyers
still
said.
murky. Still
Yeah.
not enough to like.
No,
be
it's
like,
not.
Yeah,
But it's
not at
something.
all.
It's there's just every time new pieces come
Yeah.
out, it makes it more confusing.
I feel like it's an exciting show that's being played in real life, you know. So I'm down.
It's
I'm
like
down
an
for,
Empire plotline.
Yeah, exactly. I'm down for how this,
So-
for watching how this story ends.
Well,
They charged him 16 times for felonies, actually, and he got the charges dropped, and he got community service. He made a deal. It's not
16 hours of community service, and he forfeited his $10,000 bond.
correct, and the city wants not the city. The police department wants him to forfeit $130,000, but he's not going to.
For the investigation.
Yeah.
Exactly, and there's a lot of butthurt people because it's MAGA involved, and so
Right.
a lot of I'm not saying all police force are pro-Trump, but a good amount of them, and especially
Chicago.
the Windy
Yeah.
City. Yes,
So
exactly.
yeah, that's too many questions because but every time when I first heard that he was attacked, I was like, how could this happen? This is terrible. And then the next thing I saw was him being marched into court,
Yeah.
and I was like, how could he do that? That's terrible. And then
Yeah.
it was like charges dropped, and I was like, Vince, this is crazy. I was texting Vince about it.
Yeah.
I was like, how? Why?
We covered it at work.
I was like, I know.
Like 3
that's why I was
times.
texting.
Yeah,
I
like
was
3
hoping you'd
times.
have scoop. I don't know.
We covered it a lot. We covered it 3 times. We had to do a timeline, like I just introduced it because it's still ongoing. It's still developing. Like who would have thought that this story would still keep rocking? To be honest, and I have lost track. I'm not track on what has been transpiring, but where I stand on it because I'm just it's so crazy. But to be honest, and I know this is gonna sound really biased. Whatever. A black dude getting off, I'm down. It doesn't usually happen. So, and I'm not saying I'm rooting for him. I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. It probably is more on the wrong.
If he
It's
did
probably if he did it. And to
He
be honest,
wasn't the wrong.
but you don't go to jail for that type of shit. Who's the victim?
Except that it's like every time those 4 women, because that's basically those 4 women
Four
that
women.
file a false rape claim.
Yeah.
Now weaken the
entire system.
every
No,
time
you're right.
every time someone
protection.
comes forward, there are a million people going but what about all those fake
Yeah.
rape charges?
Oh
And
no,
I'm
he
you
deserves the
those poor people.
backlash. He just doesn't
Yeah.
deserve to go to jail. I feel like that was appropriate. I feel like if you make a deal,
But what's the charge for filing a false report?
it was a felony, but they
Yeah.
dropped it. And especially if you have
Yeah.
good lawyers and you have good resources and money, that
And
happens
he
often.
He should definitely, if he did this,
Yeah.
he needs to spend all those resources on getting mental.
That's
help.
fine, but I don't think he should go to
It
jail,
just-
especially if there was no victims. He's the only one that
It
embarrassed.
was such a mess, and now the right is
Seizing upon it.
I mean,
Yeah,
burning
that's
him.
a really bad part too.
Yeah. So
He didn't do
Too
the
bad on
left
his
any
end.
favors.
Too bad on his end.
bad decision, I would say. Yeah.
I agree.
But we'll see what happens. It's still there's all
Unfolding.
this.
I agree.
It's so confusing.
So we're on the music portion, and that is "What the Fuck Did I Hear?" And we got a few songs. Let's start off with Mark's. He's our guest.
Oh,
And we're a
okay.
guest in his
He has a
production
good
home.
one.
So he has. Oh yeah, we can. Oh yeah, we can.
Should I introduce or?
Yeah, go for it. Please do.
All right. So my song pick for the week is called Scooby Doo Papa. And Scooby-Doo Papa. And it's just been coming up on my YouTube kind of recommended videos the entire time of all these kind of, very muscular men dancing, in a very sexy way with the song. So that's my favorite song of the week. It's showing me a lot of beautiful men on YouTube.
Okay, he likes to twerk.
Pasa la juca si no le voy a dar con esa.
Oh, of course. This is Dominican with the
Y la
hookah.
cosa suena ra. Y la cosa suena ra. Scooby Doo papá. Y el
Move
boom
that
boom
head.
boom boom boom. Y el boom 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 boom. Y la cosa suena ra. Y la cosa suena ra.
Hey.
Scooby Doo papá. Y el boom boom boom
See
boom
his
boom.
dance
Y el boom 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 boom. Y el
He's
boom
like, jump on it, jump on it.
Y la cosa suena ra 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 ra.
It's like a club song, right?
Scooby Doo
Yeah.
papá.
Scooby
Y
Doo
el boom
Papa.
boom 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 boom. Y el boom 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 boom. Y el boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom.
Boom, boom, boom,
Y la
boom,
cosa
boom.
suena ra 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 ra. Scooby Doo papá. Y
Hey.
el boom 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 boom. Pásame los 20.
All right, that actually actually got me going.
That's really good.
I hate reggaeton, but sometimes the song slips in there for
in
me.
the dance floor.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, it's good to dance
Let me
to.
grab
Always.
someone.
Yeah. Latin, there's no Latin music you can't dance to. They're so good at it. They're so good at making rhythmic. I love it.
Now I have to go watch all these YouTube videos of just like.
Yeah.
Scooby Doo.
It's like Justin videos. Thank you. On YouTube.
All right, let's get some music news before we get into another song. What's going on with J.Lo? Why do we have a conspiracy?
I don't think it's actually new. It's new. It was
It's
news
conspiracy.
to me.
Inside
Basically,
scoop.
I came across a J.Lo conspiracy called like her history of ghost singing, where people would reference tracks for her before she recorded them to hear what it would sound like or what it should sound like. But instead of her re-recording all of it, they'd just take the reference track and like just drop it in there, and she would sing over the reference track. So you had people like Ashanti, Christina Milian, someone who sounds suspiciously like Janet Jackson, singing in the background of all her songs. And you can tell, at least on Christina Milian's song, that it's definitely not J.Lo singing.
Yeah.
It sounds like Christina Milian on the song Play. Look it up. And I played it for you guys right before we started, and I was like, it sounds like her.
Yeah, this video was also one of my recommended videos on YouTube, and I was watching this video last night.
Should
and
we play one of the songs as an example? But it's J.Lo, right?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, J.Lo Ghost Runner.
If you go to like the first part, probably.
It's a good album.
It is a good album.
Actually, I don't think there is a bad J.Lo album.
I could wait all night and day to go to a party, sit down and wait. I grab a guy and move my come on, DJ, play that song.
Yeah,
You know that it turns me on.
It's so Christina Milian.
Just turn it up and turn it on. DJ, just play that song, 'cause I wanna be dancing all night long.
I feel like every little thing you do, I feel like that came out before this album. With Ja Rule, every little thing that you do is oh yeah, that was.
That was what I was listening to, just like re-listening to J.Lo tracks and trying to figure out who was actually singing, which is super messed up.
Well,
I
it's
love
common.
Conspiracy theory, and this one actually seems
That is not a conspiracy theory. We just heard it.
True, yeah. And Ashanti actually.
We know what Christina Milian sounds like.
Yeah.
So, and then the thing we saw. Who was it? It wasn't like Jimmy Iovine. Who was it? It
The
was
producer who was
Oh,
like,
Jimmy
who was like,
Iovine?
I
yeah.
thought it was Iovine.
No, it's Jimmy
It's
Iovine.
spelled Iovine.
I know. It's Jimmy Iovine.
No, but it was somebody big, and I can't think of who it was, but he talked about Tommy Mottola calling him up, saying, like, we want to pit, basically, J.Lo against Mariah Carey, so can she do a duet with Ja Rule? And then they did a similar sounding song.
There you go.
So look
little
that
music
up.
history.
Yeah,
Love it.
a lot of love a little drama.
What year was this? Like 99? No, 2000.
Yeah, it had to be turn of the century or some point thereafter.
Yeah.
Because her first album was 99. And then she started doing better stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So it was like a 2000, 2001 timeline.
Yes. Look at you guys. Look at you.
I remember those days.
The good old days.
The good old days. Before 9/11.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It was an innocent time.
Yes.
Innocent time.
The end of a golden decade for New York City. Actually.
Yeah.
Y2K.
Yeah.
Oh man, where were you guys when Y2K happened?
Nobody, I didn't care about it. Like nobody
Yeah.
really cared about it. Everyone was just like super. I mean, and then I started testing my computer,
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna put 2000 right now.
Right, and then nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
I was kind of like waiting for something to happen. I was like, oh, is there going to be a freak out of a bunch of people at midnight? And then nothing. I was at like a party.
Yeah, nothing.
No.
I wonder if there was, because we were all kind of young in 99, so I wonder if...
We weren't as computer,
savvy.
But I wonder if there were people
the culture wasn't,
that built up a lot of debt. Like a lot.
Wanted
just
to
like,
know.
the end of the world's happening, and we're like, psych!
Like every cult that's
very Mr. Robot,
Right?
Like,
oh yeah,
right?
I love that show. Rami Malek.
It's a great show. Yeah, yes.
Oscar winner.
Yeah, I just wish he was gay, and he's not.
I just wish he's gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that going either way. Maybe it does.
Mark needs more people on his team, guys. He's trying to draft.
Come out wherever you
right?
are.
All right, so I have some new music. I have Fitz and the Tantrums, and let's play a little bit of that. And it is called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Very kindergarten.
I was gonna say it's like the code
I'm
doing
ready to go. I got my eyes on the prize. I'm sick of feeling the lows.
This would be a good yacht song.
Look at us go. We can shoot for the stars. Gonna start a parade. See the picture is up. It's a beautiful
Or like a
day.
driving
Did it all on
song.
our own.
Like
Oh yeah, they're dope. I love them. I've seen them like 3 times, and they have like this like slim, like silver-haired guy that's singing, and then they have this actually dark-skinned black girl that does the other vocals. They're like a duo, and then the rest is like a band. And she has like platinum blonde hair as well, and they're really cool. They like really play off each other, and they're very fun music. You definitely heard it. You can play real quick.
I am really digging this millennial piece.
Nice. Oh yeah, they love to be modern. Oh my
That's
god.
my YouTube channel.
It is, yes.
It's millennial punk is actually a really
He works in social media. He works in marketing. So you've heard this before. This is like their main hit.
really good driving song. Yeah, it's a good driving song from like California.
I think they're from
LA
California.
to Portland.
I definitely listened to this when I was in California.
I don't know it either, but this is what I feel.
Well, now we introduce Jamie. We just popped their Fitz and Tantrum cherry today. And this is I guess this is their most popular, but this is what I got introduced to. But hand clap is very popular too. This has been in a bunch of movies actually. You heard this one? We got it. We finally got one.
It just reminds me of like Bush's party in 2007.
Oh, they told me not to clap that. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you did it?
I'm
not the only seal. I can make ya. And so then we have another new song. We have Hi, This Is Flume. Flume is pretty cool. Do you like Flume?
I don't know Flume.
You don't know Flume? I'm
Introduce
shocked
it.
you don't know Flume.
Like Swedish nonsense?
I'm
What is
shocked.
it?
Swedish nonsense.
Say, we are Flume.
We are Flume. Hello, Flume.
Very hot.
Gesundheit, Flume.
We are Flume.
Hi, this is Flume, and you're listening to my new single. Tap the artwork to listen and save. Hey, this is Flume. Hi, this is Flume. This is Flume. Hi, this is Flume. My name's Flume. You're listening to. Hi, this is Flume. You're listening to.
I thought this was the song, but I guess it's like an intro. So let's play one of its actual songs. There we go. Dreamtime should work. Yeah, you've heard it.
So I imagine in my head like Berlin,
This is his latest song.
Snowy Berlin.
walking late at night, you know, from drinking.
Yeah, he's like very electronic.
In pain, in agony.
Existential pain.
Yeah.
This is Friends with Rio Cragen.
I'm thinking out loud. All that negativity is bringing me down. It's so toxic. How you live like this? Don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends.
So this one is You and Me. Yeah, he's very. It's for the kids, But you've heard this before, definitely. Like a disclosure.
Give it.
Yeah, it's very popular.
But this is a remix of something else.
Yeah, Flume is a DJ. And yeah, of course he is. And I'm not really into DJs, but Oh shit! And then we have one more. We have a little rap. There's some Logic. Does anybody listen to Logic?
I've heard of Logic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We've all heard of Logic. I don't listen to Logic.
Well, now you're gonna listen to it for at least 30 seconds. This is his new album called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. And if you don't like biracial rappers,
On the low, I swear I hope that shit fuck up my flow. Where do I go? What would you do if suddenly all of your dreams came true? What would you do if you did it all? You ain't never had to lift a finger. Would you live it like fuck 'em all? Guess it's your call.
oh yeah, I've been to his concert.
It's a
He
marathon, not
looks
a
like him,
sprint.
you'll
Switching
see.
to playing like homie that went from Verizon to
Yes.
Sprint.
Like
Can you hear me now? Does anybody out there feel me now? What's your name? What's your game? Come now, boy, just switch your flow. Feel the pain, hit the game.
They call him Frank Sinatra. They call him Young Sinatra.
I can't feel nothing no more in my lane.
That's all I'm from.
And he's biracial?
What's your name? What's your game?
Yeah. And he talks about it a lot in the song. There's some people that do it that, but you know, people get to talk about you had a Filipino-centric view on your podcast. There's a lot of people have Afro-centric. There are all types of views, religious views.
But you have a biracial view.
I do.
It's so sensitive.
I'm with it. I like it. I don't care. You can say something about anything. I'm passionate about what I want to do. Let's hear it.
Searching for bliss only led me to searching for hits, only led me to bad or depression. I done learned my lesson, cause we never lessen the pain. What if your life was under a glass and people try to dig up shit for your past and tell you what's good and what's not? And every time you drop a song, they say that it's whack or it's hot. And they give a damn that it came from the heart. They tear it apart like a heat. It's here for the demons, it's here for the people that know what I'm saying. Social media telling me who I should be and just how I should rap. They always compare. They always compare me to others and try to make me up against all my brothers. Why you think so many rappers be overdosing at the crib?
They get the opportunity, or they suppress it, or to be honest, yeah. So like, it's a good way to segue because this is the last song anyway. Cardi B, and that's not even on our agenda, but
Cardi B, I'm a huge fan now.
me too.
Yeah.
And I'm still a fan, so I don't know. Did you guys hear what happened in the news with her?
No.
Oh, get out of here! Whoa,
You
I'm
know
shocked.
I'm
You're like on Twitter. I'm shocked.
I know, I'm in a hole sometimes,
shocked.
though.
Me too.
So real quick, just to frame it, and you guys will have plenty of opinions on it, so I can't wait to hear that.
Oh, God.
So Cardi B, she had an IG live video that people have unearthed, and they brought it out, and she admits, confides in the video that she used to drug her clients and rob them. Her when she was stripping and when she would like be for the pay for play, the prostitution. Now me, before you guys put your in there, me personally, I feel like, especially that you are paying for pussy, you are paying for sex. Usually when you're doing that when you're married, when you have like a fiance. I know that's wrong, but like usually that's what's happening.
Oh, right.
You're
People
like in
don't
a,
just do it?
yeah, you're like in a black market world. So like that's comes with the territory. So, and also we've talked about this before. I believe that prostitution should be legal, and I think that prostitution was legal. Now I'm not saying she's right. She's not. It's against the law. And if they press charges on her, she definitely deserves it. But I doubt it'll happen.
Right.
Now, where I want you guys to come in is a lot of people, a lot of black men in the community, and other demographics, but mostly I've been seeing a lot of African American men, trying to equalize it, being like, oh, well, you guys came at Cosby, like you locked up Cosby for this, like drugging people and raping them. And the reason why I emphasize that is because I think robbing and raping are two completely different things. So take it from there.
Thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Thoughts, feelings, emotions. I mean, I don't know. I could see it going both ways, right? I could see it going the negative route where it's like she gets indicted, all these charges are filed, and it's like.
But somebody would have to come out and file them, right? Like somebody would have to be like, I'm one of her customers, and they don't want to do that.
That's a huge controversy. Or honestly, you settle. You settle, before you even go to court.
So we're on What the Fuck Did We Watch? These are our favorite movies that we've seen, or the new movies that we've watched, or even a television that we binged. It's all good. We bring that here. And then we have our guest Mark to fill in on that as well. He can chime in on something, but we're going to start off with the blockbuster sensation, indie flick by Jordan Peele. He's amazing. He's the director of Get Out, and now he has done Us. He hasn't done all of us, but he He has directed
Probably
it.
could, but
He has now written, produced, and directed his second feature film, and that is the movie Us with Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke and a few other characters in there. And it's a wonderful film. It's more sci-fi this time. It's a little more thriller.
Yes.
It is a horror movie. People will tell you otherwise, but
it looked trippy.
But it's restructuring the horror genre. Like, it's not like it has like a little slasher in there. It has a little, but it's no haunted house, it's no paranormal shit, and it doesn't go too far into other genres where it goes away from being horror. That's what I can give you from it. But basically, with the premise, there's a bunch of doppelgangers, and that's all I can give you from that. And so they try to inflict pain on her family, and you get to see why, and you get to see a little bit of the origin of how that happens. But I thought Us was amazing. It was on a $20 million budget. It's already made over $100 million. That is really rare for a person who's only had 2 films. That's huge, and for an African American man. And real quick, and I want to get your. That's why I'm saying it real quick, because I want to hear you guys' opinion on this. On the social media feeds, Jordan Peele, he said in a magazine interview that he would not cast a white male. I'm saying a keyword white male. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be a white female. It doesn't mean that it wouldn't be another demographic, an Asian, American. And there's so many disabled who knows? There's so many minorities out there. It could be anything.
Right.
And what his response was, I don't think I would ever do that, which we're in America, you can do what you want. And Jordan Peele said, I don't think I would ever cast a white male. He said he didn't think, doesn't mean that.
In a lead, specifically.
In a lead, exactly. And he said that he's seen that story before, which we all have, unless you've been under a rock.
But he can cast a gay white male as the lead.
And that would be different.
Very different, yeah.
Very different or different?
Very different. Or someone who is, disabled who's also, like a white male. I mean,
or something where it's not, the point is not that it's a gay guy, but he just happens to also be gay. Like, there's other stuff going on, but he's just gay as well. It's always, like, whenever there's a gay lead, it's, like, about him being gay.
Yeah, it's true. It shouldn't be about the gayness, right? It should just...
Do you guys know Andrew Rannells? The guy
Andrew
from
Rannells?
Yeah, he's a lead. Well, I guess he's not really a lead. I guess because Don Cheadle and Regina King are on there. But he's a main character on Black Monday on Showtime. But that's not a feature film.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't agree. I think it is different. I think it does fulfill diversity. I think it does fulfill what's the writer clause that Frances McDormand called out last year.
Frances McDormand? Wait, what do you think?
She's married to one of the Coen brothers, Ethan Coen.
Oh, yeah.
And when she got her Oscar for 3 Billboards in Missouri, Ebbing, Missouri, she called out that she would like to have all actors, and Michael B. Jordan adopted the clause as well. And so there's a writer clause that is gaining steam, and you will not participate in a film due to your contract, the writer in your contract, if there's not at least...
It's a diversity clause.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like a percentage
of...
But
like actors are asking that it be put into their contract?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and that you have to fulfill a quota of certain people being a diverse... It could be on set. It could be the casting directors. It could be the actors.
So
exactly.
Just as long as the crew or people in front of the camera,
diverse
there's
crew.
A certain... Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I can't afford to do that. But if you can afford... I mean, Michael B. Jordan is fine. So he can have that clause.
Well, before I tell you the directors that have said that they don't prefer, or the cards are stacked against them, I'll name some of those directors. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? Do you feel conflicted that he said that, or are you for what he said, or are you against what he said?
Well, I mean, when it comes to like representation in the media, there's a huge problem already that we're addressing right now. There's a couple of movements addressing it right now. So diversity is zeitgeist, right? And there's the debate right now is whether it should be like an affirmative action situation, and it's not, because it's the actors' contract themselves doing it. I mean, people could argue that's affirmative action, but it's an individual choice. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a systemic, choice. It's like, it's individually, each of the actors is saying, we want this clause in our contract. So I highly support that. I mean, when it becomes a little bit more too systemic, and there could be problems there.
But what about a male lead? Do you have a problem with him not having a white male lead in his future films.
I have a problem with saying never, right? Because you should
He doesn't think.
You should
He
be a
doesn't
little bit
think
more
he will.
open to it. You know, times.
You mean because ideally you would just pick whoever was best for the part?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Whoever is best for the part from a pool of a very good diverse cast.
And
right?
you would hope that like you would I guess in an ideal sort of world that's how it would have always been.
Yeah.
And whoever was the best, just they would pick whoever. And they're starting to do that here and there, where you'll see like a family in a film, but they're all like of different ethnic backgrounds, and you're like, but it's just like what families look like now.
Yeah,
so
so
it
families
makes
look
more
like
sense.
now, all over
Yeah.
the U.S. actually.
So it's happening in an organic way, but people definitely, I understand why people are pushing, and I understand why Jordan Peele was like, that wouldn't work for me, and here's what I want to do, because that's what I want to see, and I want more people to be represented.
I definitely, I'm happy that more people are like Jordan is really pushing for diversity in the media, because that's what we need right now. And that's what we'll need moving forward anyway.
How many Filipino actors are there that you can name, like in America?
Right, like thanks to
in
Crazy
America.
Rich Asians, we have like
Wolfio.
Was
yeah, I know, right?
is Dante Bosco Filipino?
Wolfio, Surf
Is he? I don't
Ninjas.
You know what? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Is Dante Bosco Filipino?
Let us know in the comments section.
Yeah.
Please do. We need those. Okay, so I'm going to name some of the directors that have said this. And by the way, Spike Lee has had white male leads on his, and he's one of the most Afrocentric directors there are. Do the Right Thing. He's had had Jungle Fever. That's not a white male lead,
do you
but
consider Danny
It's a
Aiello a
diverse
lead?
yeah, Danielle. Yeah,
He was in it, but I would
Who
say
was the
he was
lead?
a lead. It was Spike Lee. It was Mookie. He played right? Mookie?
You think he was he's the main character?
He wasn't? I clearly have to watch it again because I remember
It's an ensemble, but
the movie being about him. Am I wrong?
Okay, I don't think it was solely about him. I thought it was more about the neighborhood. I think he was.
I
think he was the narrator.
Didn't you follow it? Didn't you kind of
see in his
see it
perspective?
through his perspective, which would mean he was the lead.
Okay,
that's okay.
So in the Blair Witch Project, is the camera person?
I never saw it.
I want to see it again.
I want to see that shit again. Sorry that I mentioned it.
Yeah, I never saw it in the first place, so maybe I should.
You should.
No.
But it's very.
It was a
I
moment.
heard
It was
shaky.
a moment in the history of cinema.
Right, and I skipped it. I skipped it.
Well, anyway, so you had even in Black Klansman, he had Adam Driver. He's had
because that was the story that he wanted to tell, and that story required,
Inside Man with Clive Owen.
Oh, what was Inside?
Jodie Foster.
What was Inside Man? Was that the bank heist thing?
Yes, yes,
Never
that's what I'm
saw it.
saying. So
Yeah.
he's had white male leads. That's what I'm saying. So with Jordan Peele, that's just one director. That's like a few directors that do that. Like I said, Ridley Scott. I've mentioned him many times actually. He was doing Exodus, and that has to have Egyptians, and it had 0 Egyptians.
Yeah.
And he said, you trying to finance a film, those verbatim, you try financing a film with Mohammed on the cover of the movie poster.
Ugh.
This one hurt my heart, by the way.
To be real, no one was going to see Exodus anyway.
Exactly.
Who
It
cares?
flopped really hard.
Yeah.
Oh my
It
god.
flopped.
Well,
And that
because
year
no one's
actually-
like a biblical movie
Yeah.
anymore. Like, we're done. We're moving
Another
on.
one. There's so
Yeah,
many.
well, whitewashing is becoming less attractive nowadays. The Scarlett Johansson movies are not doing that well when she does those roles.
Although I do love her in that role. In that
I did
Japanese
not like
manga
it.
role.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I thought that was the point of the movie. I thought whitewashing was the point of the movie. Like,
The Japanese whitewashed first in their manga series. You
Yeah,
know?
sure.
because I really thought the whole point of
So
the
this
movie
one hurt
was-
my heart.
I'm Asian, I could say that.
Tim Burton, they showed an article of him because a lot of people were comparing, saying, "Oh, if a white person said this," and they're like, "Actually, here's a few white people who did say this," and I thought it was hilarious. But again, it hurt my heart because Tim Burton's one of my favorites, and
Yeah, he's
I'm not going to
amazing.
cancel him.
And
But
he said, I'm not going to cast...
he said, "I don't like having to cast minorities if I don't have to," and people questioned because they were like, "But you pretty much never have." They
Right.
I looked at like all his, and he has like almost no minorities in any of his
Well, because
movies.
he loves like a goth look.
That's-
he loves like a pasty gothiness.
Yeah, but
sort of.
That's what some
Japanese
people
and
said.
Koreans are good at their
Yeah.
Scott looks, you know?
Well, that's
they
what
would
some
actually
people
be
said.
perfect for that.
And
so that's a fair point.
China,
Yeah.
goth.
Woody Allen said that he doesn't like to do that either. Seinfeld said that he had no use to do that either, even though Chris Rock is one of his best friends and was a comedian at the time during Seinfeld, and Seinfeld was the #1 show for over a decade. So that, not saying like you have to do that, but like if you're if you're considered an ally or you're considered a friend, why wouldn't you put one of your best friends in the most syndicated show of all time next to MASH?
I guess like when I think of writing stuff, I never finish. But when I do start something, I'm always writing.
Sounds like a man.
I get you know what? They always finish. I guess I write about aspects of my life and spin it out into like sort of a fantasy way, but my life is naturally somewhat diverse. It could be more diverse, but it naturally just is. I'm a New Yorker, you know, like even socioeconomically.
We're in a very special space. I mean, New York is not America, you know?
No, and you really feel that when you go other places.
Even if you go to like LA, like LA doesn't really.
Really, you go like a Dodgers game, maybe you see some like a little bit of diversity there. I don't know.
It's just. I mean, New York is just not like New York and Toronto are very similar, right? In terms of how it's grown and how it's structured and the diversity level there.
I love Toronto.
And then the rest of America, the bigger cities, are all very Americana cities. You know, like New York is not an Americana city.
And I hear the last time I was in Chicago, I heard this from my friend that I was staying with. I heard this from a Lyft driver, and then these were people of different ethnicities and backgrounds, and they both said to me, Chicago is a very segregated city.
Yes.
And I said, what?
Yeah, Chi-Town is super segregated. Absolutely.
Which is like nuts to me. I'm like, I guess I always think cities are...
Yeah, you could ride the subway there. And just like each stop is like, you know, different neighborhoods that represent
Polish, Mexican.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like the old days here, where we all like stick to our neighborhoods.
Yeah, it's like everyone. I mean, how many? Yes, like in Chinatown, there's a lot of Chinese people living and working there. But how many people, like from other backgrounds, have just moved in as well?
Because we're rude.
We are,
and we want to live somewhere we can.
You're not nice. You're rude.
Yes.
But it's true.
But those vegetables are so cheap and so good.
So Jamie watched 2 oldie but goodies. Let's dig into those classics.
First one, I had never seen this movie before, but obviously I knew all the jokes in pop culture. I watched Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino, baby-faced Chris O'Donnell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Wow, I forgot he was in
Chris O'Donnell. Like, why doesn't he work more? He was so good in Scent of a Woman.
I like him as he aged. Honestly,
he's still a good-looking guy.
He still looks good.
He's a short guy.
He's on NCIS, right? He's on the one with LL Cool J, right?
Oh, I keep forgetting he's on NCIS because I don't think
that does well, doesn't it?
I don't think
show?
about
CBS. I don't watch that shit. But
I don't watch TV like that.
That's not my type of TV.
Yeah.
I've never been like a part of the NCIS family.
No,
I don't.
I was doing. I mean, Law and Order. You just couldn't.
Oh my god! You know how many seasons it just got renewed for?
How many?
21. It's record breaking. 21 seasons.
Yeah,
good for her. Yeah, she's the executive producer now.
Law and Order is like, you know, like that stepping stone for all these other actors.
Everyone has been on.
Everyone has been on that. If you haven't, then you're not an actor.
But you know, mad people do dun 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 when they do it. Like it's really dun dun, and I'm just like, I want to correct them every time. They'll be like dun dun dun. I'm like, yo, that's a different beat, homie.
Yeah.
Like, that's not Law and Order. That's dun dun.
But so I finally saw Scent of a Woman. I actually really liked it at the beginning. I wasn't sure how it was going to go because Pacino plays a really like abrasive.
It wasn't your first time.
Yeah,
it was absolutely my first time. I had never seen it before,
nice.
and so I was on an emotional roller coaster with the character, and it was great. And Philip Seymour Hoffman played one of the prep school kids.
One of my favorite actors.
Looking so young with like a bowl cut, it was hilarious. So it was a really good movie. And then just last night, I watched Murder at 1600 with Wesley Snipes, and it made me go, when did he stop having fun? When did he stop enjoying
U.S. Marshal?
Because when he that's the thing, like he was so good in it, and he was really.
I loved him in Blade. I love everything. He's great.
He was
Jungle
a
Fever,
classic.
Spike Lee.
I still have never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen
great
that
movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
Mira Sorvino, very good movie.
Yeah, but like Wesley Snipes is a good actor when he wants to be.
Yeah.
But he's like,
so why did he stop caring?
There's been so much drama, with Wesley Snipes, like in sets of his films. Like Blade 3, he was like a terrible.
That was a bad movie.
That was well past when he was already kind of like a miserable prick.
Yeah, he was like barely in any scenes. I think he was having a fight with one of his co-stars.
Ryan Reynolds, he kept calling him a cracker.
Oh shit!
He said a lot of like.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah. Like Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds are kind of like, don't ask them about that movie because they'll kind of just go.
Ryan Reynolds was probably like, yes, I am. So what's your point?
Yeah, it was.
I'm Canadian, motherfucker. Like, what do you expect? Like,
but he was, I think, doing the Steven Seagal thing where he won't even
Yeah, he won't come into the he won't do a
reverse shot behind. He'll
yeah.
have a stand-in, and he'll even have stand-ins walk for him.
Yeah,
they're both lethal kind of people. They're both into the martial arts.
But he did his shots all by himself. He didn't want to be with the other actors. So
no, I've heard
was
that.
a big problem
The
with
diva treatment. I've heard that kind of shit before.
So it's so disappointing because when he is good, he is so enjoyable to watch. And Murder at 1600 was so much fun. I loved it. Alan Alda
Mark
was in
is
it.
endorsing. Who? Alan
Alda. It was a huge cast.
Oh, yeah,
Diane Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Diane Lane.
Oh, yeah, Murder.
Same.
You're right. Yeah.
Diane. Everybody was in this movie. Watch it. You'll recognize
I
everything.
need to watch it again.
I think it did okay in the box office. I don't think it did
should have done better.
It definitely did well in box office.
Dennis Miller.
I'm sure the VHS, was great. Like how it performed.
That's what I was going to say. I think it did well in the blockbuster.
Everyone in
I don't think it did.
had a VH.
in Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was good though.
Shout out to the corny Captain Marvel who featured that.
Right? I haven't thought about it until Captain Marvel, started promoting that Blockbuster trailer.
But shout out to it though. It's about to make over $1 billion. Even though I hated it, I didn't think it was a good movie. Jamie liked it.
Really?
Jamie liked it.
Oh, I thought it was so much fun, and I loved Nick Fury being a bigger part of it.
I love the characters. I just feel like the story could have been woven a lot much better. I mean, there are certain amazing moments of empowerment.
Yeah.
But the in-betweens were a little too much of a valley for me.
Oh.
And she's so funny usually, and they suppressed her character so much. She was never the funniest on screen, ever.
Yeah.
Everybody else was funnier
in the
than
comics,
ever.
she's really funny.
You know what? That's a good point. She's not actually, but.
So there you go. They made her that much more interesting on screen.
But I was as disappointed as I was disappointed with Doctor Strange.
I haven't seen Doctor Strange. I love
I think I'm just easy because I like a lot of. Well, no, I mean I hate a lot of stuff, but I
still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but I'm just
it had its issues. Yeah.
I could have watched this on my 55-inch screen TV.
But to be fair,
then you wouldn't have had the popcorn.
Yeah, I went to IPIC all by myself. My partner was away, and I was like, it is the premiere day, and no one wants to go with me. So I bought it at 11 p.m. for an 11 p.m. show at IPIC Cinema. So you get a pod at IPIC.
What?
Yeah. So I got myself a pod. And it was 11 p.m. I was drinking. I was grabbing my steak burger. You can eat in there.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay.
And then the movie ended at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh shit! Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
because it goes on forever. They're all at least 2 hours long.
Yeah. It's just the first time that I've ever gone to the movie by myself.
No, I get it.
I think it's fun. I saw most recently saw Star Is Born by myself.
Oh,
I dig it.
That was good. I like that movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
But I had my issues with that, and a lot of people thought it was
what is your issues?
game-changing, be-all, end-all. And I was I enjoyed it, but right off the bat, within the first 10
Would
minutes,
you pay for it?
I did.
Yeah.
And but
afterwards, okay.
I don't regret seeing it. I thought the music was fantastic.
Oh, hell
the music alone was a reason to go.
The music is great.
And they were both really good at it.
I thought so too.
I just had some weird, story issues.
I just have, I don't pay for movies that much, so...
I thought it was worth
So you
it.
like to pick it, you're more careful
I'm
with
more
how
careful,
you're spending your dollar. Well, they're so expensive here, too.
Yeah,
That's
IPIC was expensive.
You have to join the
I
A-list.
can't imagine a Bradley Cooper movie not being worth paying for.
That's true. No, but I like that because I don't buy that many tickets. So when I do stay a little bit. Yeah.
It's great because I just see everything now. I see it all in IMAX. It's good.
Yeah. But you can get it on YouTube now.
So real quick, we'll talk about I don't know if you guys saw this on Netflix. A couple of them are from Netflix and some are from HBO and Amazon Prime. We have the Ted Bundy tapes. As a matter of fact, we can dive into a few. I've been on a documentary binge. I've been on Lorraine and Bobbitt on Amazon, which is also produced by Jordan Peele, by the way.
Nice.
I watched the Ted Bundy tapes on Netflix. I watched, we're not mentioning, I'm just mentioning that I've been on the documentary, so let's not talk, because we did talk about it a lot. Leaving Neverland and Surviving R. Kelly, but we'll leave that to the side. I was watching Not Syed from Serial.
Oh, the case for
I've been watching that.
Yeah.
And I also have been listening to The Dropout, and that is Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about those real quick. What do we know? So what do you think? Let's consent. Sorry, that was a lot to go with. Let's give a question for it all though. What do you? First of all, you can answer either one of these questions. What is my obsession lately with documentaries? Or what is America's fascination with it's been a boom lately.
True crime is a thing.
True,
like
a lot
that
of true crime,
right
but a
now,
lot of
yeah.
documentary
Yeah.
true crime, like as if we're solving it. Or there you go.
No,
what's the obsession with documentaries
documentary
lately?
filmmaking has never ended. This is actually like the zeitgeist.
Not that it would ever ended, but I mean, like, why is it so popular?
No, but people thought there was a rise of documentary filmmaking, you know, and then it dropped like in the 90s, you know what I mean? No, like it never stopped. It continues to grow as a field, and now we have way more documentaries now. This is really like the height of documentary filmmaking in general.
And
whether it's like the highly produced 2-hour shows or whether that's, you know, like you guys on YouTube documenting your life every day. I mean, these are
or even
real.
just doing J.Lo conspiracy theories. Yeah, but what is it that's making us all like devour these now? From true crime podcasts to now what's become all these like follow-ups to Serial with various documentaries and stuff like that. Like, what is driving us all to seek out this stuff when...
I think we are at the golden age of storytelling, and, you know, everyone just really loves stories, you know, and now we have access to more of it. And more people are telling their own stories as well. So, you know, it's not... Because you don't watch everything, right? Like, none of us watch all of these, you know, documentaries.
Yeah, I mean, we could, but then we wouldn't have jobs.
Yeah, we wouldn't have jobs,
yeah.
I know, I haven't seen a single one.
Right, I mentioned like 6. And
I've only seen one of the 6, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just, you know, this is the golden age of storytelling. And it's documentary filming, it's everything, really.
Which is interesting because you're saying all this and it's making me think of... And you mentioned the French New Wave earlier.
Yeah.
Agnes Varda, who was like a pioneer,
she died.
Pioneer in the French New Wave movement, and she
Yeah.
did a documentary piece called The Gleaners and I.
Great
and
one.
I wish
Great
I
one.
could remember.
Classic.
I own it. Can't remember what it's about.
Oh, damn.
I remember
see
people
it.
being.
But you
in a
remembered her
field.
name, though.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. No.
Leave a
but-
legacy. That's
But
good.
even then, like, she was dedicated to telling real... Even though she's part of French New Wave, The Gleaners and I was very much like a real story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I like, I'm looking at Argentina right now when it comes to their, like, LGBT... like.
Mark
queer
does
films.
documentaries, by the way, for his company that he works for, his foundation that he works for.
We fund documentary films.
You do, but you're in the developments. You're part of that.
I'm not part of that department. That's kind of...
Oh, my bad. I'm
separate.
totally off.
I do
Totally off.
my
Thanks
own-
for that.
I do my own digital filmmaking. But,
That's cool.
yeah, we fund social justice stuff.
That's right. A lot
So,
of indigenous
like
lately.
Citizen 4, we funded Citizen 4.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
What was
movie.
Citizen?
The Edward
Snowden. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Oh. So you were like in cahoots with the Guardian for that too, because they were part of that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so dope. I
We
did
know
not know that. I
Laura
had no idea.
reached out. Laura Poitras reached
That's
out.
sick. I had no idea. No idea.
Yeah,
I talk to him all the time. I had no idea.
I used to work at the ACLU, and Snowden
That's
had
right.
a robot, and
What?
then controlled from Russia, and then you would have meetings with him in this robot.
What? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
He's a social justice warrior.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh, that's
He's a
great.
live snowflake.
It's my final meeting there before I left the ACLU. Like Snowden, I was having a meeting with Snowden. He was like, "So Twitter, what is this about? How do you?" He
So
was like
Twitter.
asking me technical questions about Twitter, and
Oh,
I was like, Ed,
Holy Mark.
you should know these things.
Like,
I love the movie. Joseph Levitt did a
Yeah.
fucking... Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He
He's
did
amazing.
a phenomenal job. I thought he did a great
Yeah.
job with that.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the real Snowden because I remember he was like, "I'm going to change the world with this information." Everybody kind of went, "Yeah."
Yeah,
Tell
we
that
knew
to-
the government was surveilling
Tell that to
everyone.
Chelsea Manning. Tell that to
Right.
Julian
Well,
Assange.
their lives
Julian
are...
Assange.
Assange.
Their lives have changed, but everyone kind of took the information and went, "Oh, they're watching all my stuff and reading all my stuff," and we all kind of went, "I had a feeling, but now I know, and what am I going to do about it?" Was kind of the
But
response.
the fact that it's normalized, right? I mean, we were coming out of
It's-
like 1984 Soviet fear of, you know, that type
Yeah.
of Cold War like mentality, and then now it's like, yeah,
and now we just
and
accept
then the
it.
acceptance is
Yeah.
just weird, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, that book predicted a lot of scary shit.
Speaking on that real quick, just to interject that, talk about your partner's work real quick. So since you dived into that.
The Cold War.
Yeah.
My partner is Yevgeny Fix. He's an artist, and he's a post-Soviet artist. He deals a lot. He takes like micro historical narratives from the past, specifically during the Cold War, and then he creates art today to make sense of what's going on around today. So one of like my favorite pieces that he did was like, you know, during the whole Russia LGBT crises. It's still ongoing.
Hell yeah, it is.
Pussy
Riot.
I remember there was a period when it was blowing up a few years back.
Yeah, 5-6 years ago. And then massive kind of, you know, refugee community coming into the U.S. from Russia, gay LGBT refugees.
Wow, I didn't know
He did
that.
a show called Homosexuality, Stalin's Atom Bomb to Destroy America.
I saw that.
And he looked at like the McCarthy era when they equated gay people with communists in the United States. And
they labeled anybody a communist. Any
Yeah.
enemy you
And
wanted.
they did.
They did, yeah. They named a lot of minorities, a lot of women, like everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Anybody they wanted to persecute.
But if you were gay, you were like,
Yeah,
you know,
just
you
as
were
well.
weak. You were considered as like, you know, as open to being blackmailed, right, by the Russians.
Oh.
So he did a show, and he took like quotations from conservative pundits, and put it in front of an atom bomb image. You know, one of the tests, you know, Soviet atom bombs that was tested in the 1950s. There were a ton of them. This one is called Joe 1.
Mm-hmm.
Just the kind of, it's kind of like this ironic play between what happened then and what's happening now in Russia, right?
Oh, so let's wrap this up a little bit with the last two. Are you guys fans of Amy Adams?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Cool.
What's not to like?
I just finished a new series of hers, Sharp Objects. There's a lot of rumors that there'll be a season 2, but because it was so dark, there's a lot of trepidations that Amy Adams won't come back for it. But it's basically about this journalist who goes back to her hometown, and her mother is involved with the string of murders, but she feels that she is covering them up, and she has a very turbulent past with her mother as well. One of her sisters dies, and she feels like her mother's responsible for that too, and it has a lot of plot twists. So I enjoyed that. That's highly recommended. We don't have to get too into that. Hugh Grant is making a little comeback for himself. He is on the Emmy-nominated and Golden Globe-nominated very special, a very English Scandal. I forgot who.
It was about one of their prime ministers, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Was it a prime minister?
I thought it was a prime minister.
It was not prime minister, an MP.
An MP, yeah, like a member of parliament. Member of parliament.
So still a big deal, but not.
But who plays the?
I'm about to look real quick because
I'm a huge fan of him.
Yes, he is. He was in Jumanji, the newest one.
Yeah.
Yes, the one who played the lover. Yes, so that is Ben Winshaw, and he plays Norman Scott, and Hugh Grant plays Jeremy Thorpe.
Yeah, Ben Winshaw is amazing. I'm a huge.
He is a good actor.
He never ages.
And in that show, like they said, it is a scandal involving a member of Parliament. He is a government official within Parliament. Again, sorry to repeat that. But he finds a lover who actually is working at a stable, and he's actually not gay, quote unquote. And Hugh Grant pretty much pays to turn him out, and they both fall in love with each other. But Hugh Grant is trying to be sensible about it, I guess, and he's trying to fit in with the times, and so he kind of ostracizes him and phases him out. And you see an avalanche. And it's based on a true story. It is a true story. Everything about it, they tried to emulate what happened. I'm sure they add some entertainment in there as well, but it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I fast-forwarded a lot.
Damn!
It was a little slow.
It was a little slow. It was like it was a long film. It's serialized.
Yeah, it's
three parts. What?
It's a miniseries. It's 6 parts. It's a miniseries.
Yeah, it was
6 episodes.
It was
Did you
6
finish?
episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I fast-forwarded a lot.
And it's a little light, too. It's like humorous a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though he's trying to kill Norman Scott.
Oh my god.
I like Hugh Grant.
Yeah, that's why he was trying to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a huge scandal.
Mm-hmm. He shot it
I like Ben Whishaw. He's a really great actor. Ben Whishaw was in another show called London Spy, a British show.
Get out of here! I love British.
It's another like gay kind of British miniseries, TV that they do all the time. They do very well.
Q.
He was Q. I thought that was a black woman. I thought that was a black woman.
No. What black woman?
Oh man. Oh, you're right. He's cute.
It's
He's
cute.
right. He's cute.
Yeah.
He's cute. There you go.
And he's looked the same.
And Ray Fiennes is a new M because he replaced Judi Dench.
Oh, who's the new M?
Ray Fiennes.
I mean,
another movie I just saw, The Duchess.
Like I care. I saw one. What's his name? Who's James Bond? Craig.
Daniel Craig.
I saw Skyfall, the one where he was
It's a trilogy, yeah.
sad. And
Yeah.
it just
it wasn't the one where he was like coming out of the beach with the
Coming out.
I saw
David
the one
Hasselhoff.
in the theater where he had the yips, like he was like, oh my god, he couldn't get it up. Like,
Oh, by the way,
the whole
breaking
movie
news.
couldn't get it up.
Breaking news: Tekashi 6ix9ine just got sentenced 2 years
For
For-
child endangerment.
for child endangerment,
Wasn't he?
racketeering, gun
Oh.
charges, all types of felonies.
But
Wow.
he did something.
And he
with kids,
snitched
right?
on his record label in order to get and he was supposed to
A
do life.
deal.
He was supposed to do life. Yeah,
And he got 2 years.
he did. So that was
That's a
just
good
from the
deal.
phone, straight from the phone. Yeah, that's it for what did I watch? I watched something with I don't know if you guys saw this, Keira Knightley, the Duchess. Just something I watched recently.
Yeah,
Oh, you did?
I've seen it.
Touch on it real quick.
Because I don't remember. I saw it years
Oh.
ago. Years.
Yeah, it was from 2006.
Yeah.
Keira Knightley, she becomes a Duchess with Ray Fiennes. Actually, that's
She
why
definitely marries into it.
she marries into it,
Yeah.
and he abuses her throughout her whole life because she's trying to have a son and she struggles to do so, and they don't sugarcoat it. That's why it's hard to watch. Like, especially being this modern time and I guess like being a feminist or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's hard to watch those things and be like, oh, don't treat her like that, but that's how it went. And they didn't, like I said, they didn't make her. She was smiling throughout it, but like you saw her pain. So that's why I thought it was good. It just was very depressing. That's all it was. It didn't mean it was bad though.
It's funny. My memory is not that it was depressing, but I just remember going, oh yeah, I saw that and I think I liked it, but I couldn't tell you why or what it was about. Yeah.
So, where the fuck did I go? And this is a really juicy part this week. Let's start with you guys. Where did you go? Did you guys go any special this week?
Was it a slow week for both of us?
Damn.
It was a slow
I'll make up
week.
for that.
What did I do?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go anywhere. This is where I could briefly mention, instead of, I didn't go anywhere, but I went to a very dark place on the internet.
Oh, damn. Please do. Tell
Yes,
us.
I forgot.
That's hilarious.
This is like the only thing I did. I was just home on the computer having another fight on the internet with another person.
Twitter
except
fingers.
this time I knew the person. It's a close family friend, someone I've basically grown up
even
with.
more juicy.
And we just have vastly different opinions about, on a basic level, the importance of other people, how to treat them, respect, not being a garbage person. We just have vastly
Well,
different.
essentials.
Yeah, I mean, I just couldn't. It's like I know his opinions are not. They're not different. They're bad opinions,
Mm-hmm.
and
There are bad
I usually
opinions.
just go like, well, and I excuse it and I forgive it and I go like, I don't have to deal with it on a daily basis, but.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Facebook and he was saying some stuff, and it was about like no collusion. AG Barr said that he was basically saying like
No collusion.
a lot of stuff that Trump is innocent and blah 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 because the Attorney General said so, and I'm like, yeah,
The pen is blue.
the Trump appointed Attorney General, like it was a lot of stuff where all these people on his page, and not a lot, but they were all going like, yeah, I agree with you and you're so right and all this stuff, and I was like, guys. They haven't even released the Mueller report yet. Like, what are you even talking about? And that's when he brought up, like, well, the AG said, and I'm like, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked.
The Trump appointed AG.
And we just kept going back and forth, and it got a little dark there because and he tried to outlanguage me.
William Barr, by the way, guys.
Well, he tried to like change because I noticed immediately like he was writing in pretty plain, like straightforward English. And then all of a sudden, I could tell I was being like a nuisance when he suddenly tried to like whip out some like big words, and just like
a lot of air quotes this episode. We're on YouTube. We're trying to act a
they're
fool.
not like incomprehensible words. They're not big words, but I could tell he thought like it would intimidate me into shutting up.
Big words for Bush.
No, I kept coming. Yes, exactly. Big words for Bush, and I kept
Trump.
coming back. I was like, I'm not letting this go.
Big
And I even pointed out, I'm like, you should be wary that everyone on this page is like the same type of person. They're the same age, they're all like, I basically was like, it's a bunch of old white people. Like, you need to really listen to other types of people to have a better perspective about what you're saying.
Echo chamber.
Yeah, and exactly.
Echo chamber
But he
word.
accused liberals of being in an echo chamber.
Otherwise,
and
the
then, of course, like,
word.
one person, because I clicked on their profiles. I wanted to see who was agreeing with him, who was saying all this
Oh,
stuff.
shit.
And it was all like people of a certain age.
Who else am I canceling?
And then one kid chimed in.
Come on, like, why do we, like, honestly, if you go to the bottom of it, why do you need to focus on this whole Mueller report? I mean, how do you bridge? You know, there's so much divisiveness now. It's like Mueller Report, whatever.
But they don't want to. It's like I wasn't being nasty. I was being fairly reasonable. I was like, I base my opinions on like, here's what I did with my life and how I choose to live it. And I like getting different opinions from different people. I have Republican friends. This
The
is
Keep
not
Up
me.
Report.
Yeah, but it's basically, I was saying, like, maybe I should look into that. Like, look into talking to people who are different from yourself.
Yes. Let's
True.
see what the queer eye for the straight guys are doing right now.
And what is that, Mark? What is that?
They've gone Americana. I mean, they're like all over, like in the middle states, you know.
Spreading goodwill.
Spreading goodwill and joy and humanness, you know.
Humanness.
I wish it, but that was my big thing of the week. I had a fight with a family member in a public forum.
Watch out, guys.
Well, you know, does it spark joy?
No, you know what? It did.
It did.
It did.
Not gonna lie, Charlie
Yeah.
sparks joy in me too. I know
Yeah.
it's sick.
Yeah, it did spark joy.
Just lately, because everything's like, oh, you know, so it really feels good to be like, oh, I'm gonna say all
Let
this
it out,
shit.
let it
Yeah.
out.
And so I did. Yeah.
At least it's not at a Thanksgiving table where you can get physical. you
No,
know?
we don't talk
I
about
like
it.
that
When
too,
we're
by
in
the way,
person,
but it's
we
all
don't
good.
talk about it. Yeah.
I love drama in any capacity.
But that was basically where I went. I went to a dark place. Did you go to a dark place this week?
You know, I have a WhatsApp group with my neighbors.
That's right.
So
That's right. Why,
we
yeah,
all
you
live
told me
like
that.
2 blocks away from each other.
Oh, okay.
And there's like 10 of us in there. So every day we would just like chat, what are you guys doing? You want to walk over here? Or do you want to grab a beer here? Or let's go do other stuff over there on the rooftop somewhere?
Oh,
like,
that's fun.
so yeah, so we do that, you know, so we just went a couple of times to a bar this week. I mean, it's all really good to just have like, just ping your friends. Because, you know, I feel like we're trying to recreate that like Friends TV show where you're like, you live so close to each other, you're knocking on each other's doors.
You're always hanging out.
You're always hanging out, coffee shop over there, bar over there, you know, like, so we're trying again to do that.
That's fun, though. I wish I had neighbors.
That you
that I
know,
talk to, yeah.
you talk to and know, yeah. It's I got into this group because my friend right now is dating someone who lives just behind my apartment,
That's
essentially.
Nice.
So you got like kind of
So we all,
brought into the
and it's a
neighbor
great
circle.
group of people.
Oh, that's
yeah,
fun.
Who's gonna borrow some sugar?
I know. And then we've all been here for like 10 years in this neighborhood.
Oh man, maybe I need to just go to door and be like, hey, you want to join my WhatsApp? We're gonna like hang out. They just slam the door in my face. Let's be real.
People would speak. I mean, you gotta go to a cafe, and then you gotta figure
Like-
people out.
Well, they
And
know
then,
your whole adult life pretty much.
and then after, it's like dating. You know what I mean? But you're shopping for people you can hang out with in your neighborhood.
It's so hard. Because, like, it always seems like you're... Like, there's no way to frame it. I think women would legit think I was coming on to them. And I'm like, no, I just want to be your friend. Like,
It's less. I feel like
Bumble
it's less
BFF.
hard because the expectations are less. You're like, I have this friend group. You know.
okay,
Well, I guess it could go the other way too.
Yeah. I don't want to be like, I'm going to stalk you. I need to know all your
Yeah.
personal information. And can I get your credit card numbers? I feel like
Swim van.
it's hard not to give off that vibe of, like, not desperation, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hi, what's your name? I'm Jamie. Like, I'm always worried I'm coming across as, like,
Yeah.
Wesley
little
Snipes,
intense,
the
little-
fan.
You know, so I try to be friendly, but I keep to myself maybe a little too much. I don't know. I need a WhatsApp group is what I'm saying.
Grab it. What's that?
Get that Bumble BFF.
Is that a real thing?
That
You
is.
keep saying it, and I'm like,
Yeah, you switch
right,
over,
Bumble.
you get the Bumble app, and there's a version you swipe over to, and it
And real
specializes.
relationships happen in it.
I-
Real relationships happen all over. No?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's true.
What real woman relationship is real? I don't even know.
No, smack
So
it.
yeah, so much cattiness. I don't even know how you even have.
That's a stereotype.
That's a stereotype. I agree. Girls are really good friends.
We do, like, yeah, we can be. It's like,
From the gay guy.
but I appreciate that because I
Yes.
think like we do really like go to bat for each other.
Yeah.
But like when two women don't like each other,
Yeah.
that's fucking it.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
But
Guys,
behind closed doors, most of you guys trash each other.
Vince gets
And on top-
dominated by women all the time. I mean,
I
I
get
can
what?
see that.
Yes, I do.
dominated by women.
It's dominated by too many people, to be honest. We'll get into that right now.
Oh my god, yes.
So this is actually the theme of where I've been this week. I've been to a few dark places. So let's start with the taxes.
Oh my god.
So I did my taxes, but before I was about to do my taxes at H&R Block, I was afraid to do them because of the loopholes and because of the mandate that was taken away. I thought that would adversely affect me, but it did not actually. I actually got a good return. MAGA on that one.
I know.
The only thing.
I had a return this year too. I was like, what?
I mean, I don't make enough for the 10 grand for the salt, so fuck it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't otherwise, so I got a good amount. Thank you, Uncle Sam.
Thank you,
but,
Uncle Sam.
But before I was able to thank Uncle Sam, I had this girl that I used to mess around with from Tinder, and she has been trying to get a few extra rounds out of me, and I'm not really into it. She's a heftier woman. I was in a dry spell, so you know I had to make that happen. But she offered to do my taxes for free, but again, she has been trying to, in Lady Gaga terms, get on my pogo stick. Disco stick. There you go. My bad. Thank you for that clarification. We needed
Disco
that.
stick.
But so that chick is too thick for my disco stick.
Oh, you're like
yeah. So I was trying to gear. Yeah, I'm shallow. She calls it out all the time. She's right. So I was trying to gear away from that, but then I got almost tempted to do it. I didn't do it. H&R Block got my taxes. You go H&R Block. But I almost fell into the trap where I was going to fuck her to do my taxes. I was about to hoe myself out to do my taxes. Oh yes. So sometimes that's what
men have to do to get what they want.
Sometimes you gotta fuck someone to get your taxes done. Sometimes that happens. So anyway, I did my taxes. Thank God. I got a massage this week.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. I told Mark about the story. So
yeah.
this is new for you.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna apologize to the gay community real quick.
That's always a good way to start.
I'm gonna apologize
Start there.
We're gonna start right there because to be honest, I don't feel myself a part of that community. Well, yes, when it comes to friendship and all those type of things, but as far as being my sexual orientation, my sexual orientation. Oh yeah, I'll be at the parade.
You're
I'll
more
party.
a flag member, but you're not.
Exactly.
Everything. Vince is actually very comfortable with his sexuality.
Yes.
He knows he's a straight guy, and he's friends with a lot of gay people.
Thank you. I really appreciate you acknowledging that. So, but I tiptoe on the line too much when it comes to being too nice about it, and I don't let people know my boundaries, and it ends up getting messy, and I blame myself because I know my boundaries, but I don't tell anybody about them. So I try to be too nice, just like my fuckboy antics. I don't fucking rip off the Band-Aid. Instead, I try to go and then women get really mad at me when I could have just cut to the chase. I could have just been like, no, I don't want to see you anymore.
Because you're afraid of the confrontation.
And even with H&R Block, yeah, same thing.
I think so.
Same thing. So instead of telling her, I don't want to fuck you anymore, I was like, maybe I can fuck her for my taxes. Yeah, that's wrong. It's all fuckboy, but that's my life. That's my life. But anyway, so I can't go back. So anyway, to apologize to the gay community. So fast forward, I've been through these situations before where people have tried to, I'm not going to say take advantage, but they've tried to go for an opening they think is open because I probably let them think that, unfortunately.
Oh, because you were getting a massage from this guy.
There you go. So he's right.
But was this a professional massage?
So he said that he put in hours. Hold up. He got a certificate. I saw it.
Okay.
But he was practicing, and I had let him know through casual conversation because we're friends.
Okay.
He said that he was doing hours to be a masseuse. He's a nurse. And he wanted to make extra money and become a masseuse. He had the hot stones. He had all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All jazz. So this is where I was wrong. He said in order for the massage to work, which I've seen plenty of movies, said you had to take a shower and get naked.
Yeah.
Now, I was opposed to it at first, but then
No, but you should definitely take a shower and get naked.
Well, I did it.
Get naked at least.
I did it. But again, I didn't let
take a shower.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. But again, I did not let my boundaries be known. But I also feel, I was telling Mark this before, I also feel like it's rude when you when you make that disclaimer right away to a gay person. Because I feel like...
Yeah, I can see that.
And I
see
feel like... Yeah, because you're automatically...
You're assuming that you're a prey and he's a predator.
Boom, boom. And that's how I feel. Even though I should say it right from the beginning, just set the boundaries. But again, I feel... You hit it on the head. I feel rude because I don't want them to think that, automatically they're hitting on me.
Or, it's not your assumption for them to...
Or my assumption, yes.
It's not your assumption for them to, make a move on you.
So fast forward, he's giving me a massage. Everything's going well.
Welcome to the world of women.
He gives me a couple... But I've been through this a lot of times, by the way. I'm not saying as much as women, but definitely a quarter of what women go through. Yeah, definitely at least a quarter.
Experiences.
Yeah, definitely at least 1 out of 4 what women go through.
Vince is a magnet for trans people.
Yes, Philippines. They were hitting my Tinder up like in record pace. Like I've never gotten that much attention in my life. I might as well be gay. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have way more options to be honest.
But technically, I won't get into the little like.
So anyway,
but if they're trans, they're women.
So you can.
They're women.
I'm like that doesn't make you.
They're women.
That doesn't make you gay.
It doesn't make you gay. It doesn't.
They're
make you
part
gay.
of the LGBT community.
Right, well, you can make your judgments right after this.
But if you're attracted to them because they are women, then
you're not gay.
So there's a popular drug within the gay community. You can get it at a smoke shop. It's called Poppers. And I did it in the Philippines when I went there last time.
Oh God!
But I did it wrong, and I didn't know that I did it wrong. I didn't know. I ingested it like an idiot, and I did it again with this dude, and then
with the massage guy.
The massage guy gave him poppers.
So watch this. So I'm on my stomach, and I'm already like a little fucked up from it because I ingested it. You're supposed to inhale it.
Yeah.
And
you ingested it.
And so, like an idiot, I did that. So I'm already fucked up. So then he asked me real quick that I want to do it again, and I didn't really get a chance to answer. And I guess he thought there was an opening. He went and made me sniff it like twice. I'm like fucked up. I turn on my back, and he gets a little too close. But I didn't know because my eyes were closed, so I like looked down, and you can imagine what you want. The homeboy was way too close for me. I had to get up. I had to start leaving. He convinced me to stay because he had some free Mexican food. That shit was pretty delicious.
Okay, so basically, if anyone offers you free taxes, free Mexican food, a free massage,
I'm pretty easy.
Vince, this is how you could die this way. Somebody's gonna be like, "Come in my van. I have."
I know, right?
Here.
Yeah, come in this van.
So I'm apologizing to women, and I'm apologizing to the gay community. I'm just a fuckboy in all realms. there's no corner of the world I don't fuckboy around. Like,
but was it legit? Because they do have to get into like close to your places.
Was his hands or was his head close? Which one is close to you?
I got away really quickly, and I think because he thought, and we'll be real right now. I think because he thought I was aroused, it was because of him. Because I said I was like, my eyes were closed and I was really fucked up. It was definitely the poppers because I was not thinking about him.
Yeah, it gives you a rush.
Yes.
Because Stanza talks about this on Seinfeld where he's like, it moved, Jerry.
But I didn't know. I'm just thinking like euphoric things. So like it wasn't, my body was tingling anyway. So like that wasn't the sole focus of the sensation for me.
So you were aroused when you turned around.
Yeah, so he got the wrong idea and he tried to go for it. And I noticed and I was like, and I noticed right in like, too close though, like wait.
Which, if he's gonna be a massage therapist, you're gonna see.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to get that line across, or else he's just gonna have to have women clients. But whatever. There you go.
Yeah, that was it. A more secretive aroused.
Now into a more hetero conversation. I went to opening day. Go Yankees. Went to that against Go Yankees. They're not into sports as much as I am.
Or at least not baseball.
Yes, sorry. Go Yankees once again. They played the Orioles.
9 hours of nothingness.
That's how it feels. It's eternal.
You're right. They have to change some of the rules because like sometimes hours are like... Yeah, even the one I went to was almost 4 hours, and that's too much. So they're working on rules to change that. My boss took the day off too because he's a big baseball fan as well. I took the day off because it was a 1 p.m. game. They used to be a tradition, not like going to opening day, but like tradition, like at least once a year when I was like in high school and middle school, like go to the ticker day parade, go to like a few games a year, miss some school.
It was so much cheaper when we were in high school.
Yeah, it definitely was. Double headers,
and we get discounts as students.
Yeah, you're right.
It was like $20-$30. Like it was crazy.
Nice. Have you guys gone to any sporting events recently? I think you went to a hockey game recently, right?
Oh. Yes. Yeah. A couple of weeks back, I was at a Jersey Devils game.
That's right. I haven't been yet. I want to.
It's fun. I mean, hockey's fun because they fight.
Yeah, hockey is fun.
It moves, and they fight.
Go Rangers, even though
they really fight.
If you guys are down for like an MMA,
I'm down.
So down.
I'm down. I've never been.
We should vlog that.
Is it like scary in person?
They do a lot of the Barclays actually.
Because I've watched it, but it's brutal.
It's real fighting.
I've seen people like there was a guy who wouldn't tap out, so his arm,
blood everywhere. Yes, I remember that.
So let's get into the last portion. So what the fuck did I say? And that is some of our favorite phrases, a cliche, something stupid we heard, something we tweeted about, something we saw on Twitter. It doesn't matter. You heard what I had to say with sometimes. So like now Mark, because Jamie definitely knows. We can show an example, like I said, sometimes you have to fuck someone to get your taxes done. And our cliche of the week is leaking to the choir, which is a variation of preaching to the choir, where you're preaching something that someone already believes, that they're like, you don't even have to work for it. So, what the fuck did you say this week, or what the fuck did someone say to you this week, Mark, that is worth bringing on this show, motherfucker?
So I heard that Cardi B, patented like occur.
She patented
I love it.
I was like, what? Why would you patent? That is the gay community's word.
Oh, tell him, preach.
You can't patent that. We should patent that. You know,
Occur?
Like, that's not her.
She definitely didn't come up with it.
She didn't come up with it.
No, of course she didn't. Who said it first?
RuPaul's Drag Race should be like, should be out there.
He said it, or someone on?
Well, we do this all the time in RuPaul's Drag Race. Occur.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I'm sure I've heard other people, but the only one I really remember is her.
I think there's a lot of crossover between, I think, things that...
Her world and the LGBT world.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I don't really watch Drag
But
Race.
for real, though.
Even though I love RuPaul, I'm a huge RuPaul fan. I just never watched the full episode of that show.
It's a wonderful show.
I'm
It's on
sure it
season
is.
like 12 now or
Oh my
something
God.
like
I'm
that.
sure it is.
Yeah.
The
I
best.
usually watch compilations of them reading each other.
Yeah,
I just like
that's
that.
great.
I watched him on Frakes and Frankie. Grace and Frankie on Netflix, and he was wonderful. And I saw him on Broad City, and he was a main character of the fourth season.
Oh.
He was the restaurant manager of a sushi restaurant that
Okay.
Alana was working at. I think it was a play on Spice, the Thai restaurant.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
sort of semi
But he's awesome.
chain.
My favorite of him ever is Brady Bunch, actually.
You're such a New Yorker. You're like, you remember Spice, that Thai restaurant
Yeah,
on like
definitely
what
New
street
York.
is that? Like University
Every
Place.
street?
No, that was in Williamsburg, the one that I'm talking about.
Uh,
but there is one on University
sorry.
Place.
Isn't
sorry.
Spice the
No.
chain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, the Williamsburg is definitely the best one because it's near the water.
The one on University Place is much
That's
better.
where they get their fish. What do you think they get their fish?
They get the fish from the river.
Why
From
not?
the river.
Maybe the oysters.
Where do
Maybe
you
oysters.
think?
They get oysters from the.
Not all of it, but
You
I'm
think
saying like
the Spice restaurant is getting their fish.
I'm not saying all
No,
of
they're
it.
getting
From
that
the-
fish from
But we
China,
had-
Asia.
Or wherever. Like, where...
I've heard that, but actually I read an article where most U.S. fish comes from is actually Massachusetts.
Okay, that's
where
that is
most
not
of the red
the
snapper
river.
and the red tuna is from.
Okay, interesting.
So that's it's a big article, and we're actually running out because sushi is so popular. Right
Well,
now.
it's delicious.
And we're getting more mercury poisoning than we ever
Yeah,
had.
that's so true.
That's why
because we're overdoing it with the
Do
sushi,
you
which
remember-
is delicious.
Do you
but-
remember when Jeremy Piven had to leave Speed the Plow because of mercury
that.
poisoning?
He came and
It's
visited
a
our
real
school.
deal. A friend of my coworker had mercury poisoning because all he ate was like tuna for like months.
Oh
and
my
then,
God.
yeah, and it's tuna, so they get the most
Damn,
mercury per
yeah. I've heard
And he
that.
just
Per
was
gram
eating
of
so
tuna
much of
meat.
it. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I apologize to our fans, by the way. I didn't even say how we really know each other just from the Philippines, which was an amazing trip.
Oh, right.
We went to Bohol and we went to Manila, but also we went to school together. We got the same
did.
scholarship,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, he went to Indiana too. He was there when Mike Pence was fucking governor.
That's
Oh,
so
so you were
true.
both into
We know
DePaul.
families of Mike Pence. We have partied with families. Of
We
Mike
have,
Pence.
and lots
Yes.
of incestual people.
No.
What's your favorite
Yeah.
story of yourself or anybody at DePaul?
On campus, cemeteries were really popular for sex.
What?
So
You guys are
This
Like-
neck bro motherfucker over here.
Oh my God.
Don't be fucking dead people, Mark.
My first date was in a cemetery on campus.
No.
So
What
I
are you,
had,
fucking Gomez Adams over here? Like,
I
what's wrong with you?
it was like 2 a.m. in the morning.
Damn. Okay.
No, with my first boyfriend on campus. This was like 2003. I was hanging out in his fraternity. I only dated frat bros from
Beatles.
different houses on campus. And then he was like, I met him there at a party and we were hanging out. And it was like 2 a.m. and he's like, let's go to the cemetery.
Let's go get a tombstone
You don't
pizza.
even
Like, I don't know.
It's like a full moon outside. It's not that cold.
Oh my
It is.
God.
It was very romantic. You're scared. You're like, it's a
I mean, it's no
cemetery.
massage parlor.
It's dark. It's dark.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Were there a lot of cemeteries near your school?
There were a few. There was like Boone Hutch, which is
Boone
Okay,
Hutch.
the
Boone
fact that you
Hutchinson.
know what they
I
were
would
called.
yeah.
Oh
Black people don't do cemeteries, even if I'm just half black. You would never
No.
catch. I don't know any cemetery.
But these cemeteries were popular
Like a pet
day
cemetery.
spots.
That is so funny.
Yeah, and a lot of people had sex in these cemeteries.
Indiana's crazy,
Not me.
man.
I know.
Not that I'm opposed to it.
So much
As long as
land
someone's like
available.
watching over it. If there's like a bouncer, I need like a bouncer. Because like I'm not afraid of ghosts, but I don't want to be that dude, the first one.
There's two of you.
The first one to go.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, well, now I'm a believer, and now I'm like traumatized for life. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like that person's like following me now, or it's like The Grudge.
It wasn't that weird of a town where you would be scared of like, you know, specific communities or people like attacking
Just
you
the
in the middle of
conservatives.
nowhere. You know,
That's what you
like,
should be afraid of.
it wasn't that crazy. It wasn't like Appalachia.
You're
or
bugging.
anything
Yes,
like
it
that,
was.
You know, like
Oh hell no, Mark, stop.
what? I enjoyed.
Oh, I enjoyed it,
Greenville,
but
Indiana.
But
Yeah.
not the people. You guys, yes, but not the fucking townies. Fuck out of here. Hell no, they were the worst.
I dated a couple of times.
Oh,
Oh.
god. Oh god.
Interesting.
I did
Such
too.
different
I did
experiences.
too. I did too.
You did too.
I did too,
You
guys.
did.
So what are you even talking about?
That didn't mean like they were good people.
Oh.
I fucked many people that are bad people. I love a good hate fuck too. Those are my favorite kind
Yeah,
of
that's
fucks.
true. That's true.
Respect yourself.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that, Jamie?
Oh,
Don't speak nonsense.
okay.
I had a so I was with. Do you remember Centauri?
Yes, I love
He was,
Centauri Minor. Well, he's
So
a cool
Centauri
guy.
was like this gay black Republican,
Chiseled motherfucker.
super fit, and you know we had
Like Adonis.
a history for a few years together. But in our first year together, he stayed with me during like we had a winter term, like a January term. He like literally slept in my room the entire time. But I would pinch him, right? Like I would whisper to him.
That's not annoying.
Like you need to go back to the gym because look at this.
Oh, you're so fuck. You're like one of those moms.
Because he was like he was a black gay Republican, and
Oh, yeah,
he just
he was.
want to like and
He was.
and he's always like, oh, people should just work harder. You know, you just like want to hate him.
Strap up your
So you're
bootstraps.
just like, that was a way of like
That was a
poking
way
him
of
and
me,
getting at him.
and then he would
Oh.
freak out and go to the gym. It was so funny.
I love
Wow,
that you
you
knew
traumatized
exactly
him.
how to make an insecure
Yeah.
man
He
react.
definitely did. He
Yeah.
definitely
He's a
did.
gorgeous guy, but and very smart and
He's smart.
But dead on the inside.
He's really.
Pretty
I mean,
much.
he's doing really
Pretty
good
much.
things right now. But man, in college, everybody hated him. I mean, every
He was, actually.
New
Not to
Yorker,
me, though.
every Chicago folks.
But I saw people hating on him a lot. He did have a very.
It was off-putting with
But
his
that happens
words.
with me a lot. Like a lot of people with strong personalities and
Yeah.
strong opinions.
Yeah,
You can't help it as the person that
he's
has
a
those
black
strong
gay
feelings.
Republican.
But
Yeah.
but he pays the price for that, unfortunately,
he
just
does
to
pay
be
the price
himself.
for that. Yeah.
But I commend him. Like even though I disagree with his like
Yeah.
philosophies and ideologies.
And he was like the outest,
Be your-
one of the
be
most
yourself.
gayest people on campus. You know, like,
be your
Yeah.
fucking self.
I don't know what he was
Yeah.
thinking. What did he like about the Republican Party?
Oh shit.
he was economically
They all
liberal.
see, but
which
they all
is,
like say that shit.
you know,
Economically liberal.
Yeah, he's a fiscal liberal.
Oh, he's a fiscal
So
liberal.
he was
There you go.
socially conservative.
Yeah.
No, you're
Right.
not.
Whoa.
It's like he has
So
no
he likes to spend money.
self-awareness.
He likes to spend money. Hold up.
He
Was
likes
he
to be
fiscally conservative
and-
or was
no,
he?
fiscally,
likes-
He was
fiscal-
socially liberal.
Like fiscal liberalism is just like is what it is now. You have like a
He
globalization.
he
and
likes
Oh,
to-
he was into that?
pro-capitalist. Yeah.
So hold up. He can't be socially liberal. He can't be socially conservative if he's gay. That doesn't make sense.
That's the more
It
confusing
was-
so
it
he,
was,
aspect.
so
it
he
was a
believed. So he
struggle.
didn't believe in
It
gay
was a
marriage,
struggle.
even though he was gay.
He was like, we don't deserve rights.
I'm trying to be clear
I
about
don't remember
this.
us having a conversation about gay marriage.
So he didn't believe in gay marriage.
Probably not.
Which
yeah.
is funny because that
Okay.
was like the hot topic for kids at home.
I
That
don't-
was a hot
I don't really-
topic.
I don't really.
So he
think
believed in
it's-
traditional like gender norms too. Like he believed in like women in the kitchen.
Do you think he's
And, like,
married to
men-
a woman
Yeah, he
now?
said a lot of
Men
those
with the-
words.
oh,
But then again, we were 18.
Oh, so he is.
We
Yeah,
were
you're right.
18, you know, like
Yeah, you're right. He was socially conservative.
Hopefully
Troubled
things
man.
have
I did not know that
He's a
about him.
Troubled man.
He's right pretty backwards. Holy shit.
hopefully things have changed. He's doing really good things right now.
Good for him.
But he was a lot of fun.
Wow. So Jamie has one. Jamie has
Oh yeah,
something to do with. Keep going.
lobster.
the
The
movie?
quote is no.
Oh.
Oh, you mean the lobster?
Mhm.
I didn't see
Oh,
it.
I saw that. That was good. Colin Farrell. That was good.
I'm gonna look
It
into
was
it.
weird, but it was good.
This is a quote. It just says, "I'm not leaving the lobsters. That's who I am." And this is a
Oh,
quote
we need
from
context for that, guys.
Real Housewife of New York,
Oh,
Sonia
of course.
Morgan.
Of course, Andy Cohen, which
She
he's
is-
mad funny on Hot Ones, by the way.
Oh yeah.
He was hilarious. Keep
Oh,
going.
Andy
Sorry.
Cohen. Yeah, he's got a lot of stories.
He's a man.
But this was.
I'm a big fan now.
I
fan.
know. I
He's
still need to read
hilarious.
his book.
Smokes mad weed.
Andy Cohen?
Yes, he says he smokes mad weed.
He's hot.
That sounds
Keep going.
surprising. Sonia Morgan is the loopiest of the New York housewives. She's always
What's her
like
name?
Sonia Morgan. Sonia Tremont Morgan.
Oh, I have
She
some
was married.
interesting
She
Sonias
married
in my
into
life.
the J.P. Morgan family.
Oh, everybody's rich on that
Oh,
side.
yeah.
FDR, all of them motherfuckers.
But like, so
Yeah.
she was married to one of the Morgans, and that's where
the
that comes
Morgans.
from. Now she's
Not the JP side, the Morgan side.
whatever. She's just super kind of boozy and loves to
Oh, I like
party.
boozy.
And she was at a clam bake.
I thought you were about to say
It's
a
been a
clam
while
meeting.
since I've been in a clam bake.
I know.
Those
love
are
clam
good,
bakes.
delicious.
I've
I thought you were going
never
to say
been to
clam
one.
meeting. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, no.
But clam bake is better.
Yeah.
She would probably find herself at a clan meeting and not even know what it was.
Am
She
I?
would just think it was a great party.
Where's the
She
refreshments?
has no clue.
What a great costume party.
Oh god, she would though, and she'd be like, "Oh my god, can we cut it? and
How
make it
fashionable."
shorter?" She doesn't know. But she was at a clam bake out in the Hamptons, and the hostess was like, "Oh, take some stuff with you." She's putting like lobsters in a plastic bag to take it home. She took a whole lobster home for dinner.
Hey, times are rough, yo.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
You gotta do what you gotta do,
wouldn't you
man.
do that? I would do that.
I would do it. As long as I didn't get caught.
Only
I
if
want to
my-
look classy, but
Yeah,
be trash.
yeah.
Only if my host absolutely insisted, but I don't know if I could make off with an entire lobster from a party. That just feels
Well,
like
you don't
really
show it to people. You're
bad
putting it in your
manners.
bag somewhere.
No,
Like,
she was blatantly like, put the lobster in the. She was taking
she
the
was
lobster.
obnoxious
That's
about
who I
it.
am.
Okay, well, we're gonna teach you some more
It was
ratchet
amazing.
tricks off camera. Don't you worry.
Oh,
We'll teach you how to jimmy a car. We'll teach you all that shit. Don't
No,
worry.
I mean, I know. My friend and I talk about this all the time. We don't take. Her mom does this thing where she'll go to like put stuff in a napkin, and then she'll turn to my friend and go, for the shtetl.
Oh, my grandmother does it all the time.
For the-
She steals
for the-
bread. She steals all types of shit
Yeah.
from buffets.
But it's
like,
a joke where it's like you're
hot
bringing,
sauce.
you're
I do it all
bringing
the
it back to
time.
your village when really she's just bringing it back
Oh, yeah.
herself. But she
I've seen it
pretends
many
like
times.
which is your village, your house.
Yes.
Even at the Yankee game, I take the cups. I take the ones that are like I'm coming up on the stands and shit like that. People leave their cups. Please.
You drink other people's drinks in the game.
No. I bring it home and I wash them, and they're collectible cups.
Yeah.
Some people leave them and shit like that. But
all of Vince's stuff is just collectible cups
Yo.
and plastic McDonald's.
I'll take it a
cups.
step further. My grandfather, I've said this on before. I used to have guests, so we'll have a new audience. Some of your fans, both of your fans, will hear this. But my grandfather, I used to be impressed. He had two PhDs. He's like one of the profound writers of Shakespeare, but he's one of the biggest douchebags of all time.
Your grandfather?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he was a bad person. On my mom's side, sorry, not my dad's side. He was a douchebag too, but less of a douchebag. But he said that. Oh crap! Damn, I went too much on the segue.
Taking food.
Oh my bad. So he had an impressive library, but they all had like the library stickers on them.
No.
So I never like really put two and two together. And then one day I
He
opened
stole
them.
the books from the library? Oh
Yeah.
my god. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That thief.
We can't
No.
bring him to see us.
No,
He
I'm
stole
sorry.
knowledge from the community.
Oh my god.
So my
So
grandfather was
selfish.
mob connected, blah blah blah.
Oh, no.
So he used to take people's library cards. He said he took them. He admitted a little bit of it. So I asked him. I was like, "Why do all these have like slits, like library cards and
Right.
slits and,
Oh my god.
and time stamps and blah blah blah?" And he goes, "Oh, I would borrow their cards, and sometimes I would forget that I had them, and I would just forget to. But my mother gave me the scoop, and she's like, no." He would ask to borrow them, and he on purpose would not give it back, so he would collect those books. And sometimes he would even steal their library cards just so that he could add to his library.
To
so
save $15.
it's in the blood, guys. It's in the blood.
No,
Oh my
no.
God.
That's
So
terrible. That's terrible.
If you ain't scheming, you ain't dreaming.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You can't
don't people
share.
get at me like Cardi B over here? Like, yo. It's all good, man. I didn't drug anybody yet. Watch your drinks, motherfuckers.
Don't. Don't.
We're like, haha, no.
No.
But on that wave,
Of
sorry,
stealing
I'm
knowledge
having
from
such
the community.
right. I'm having such a great time. I don't want to end this, but we have to. We have to edit this and all that good shit. But we're so grateful to have Mark with us today. He has helped us film as well. He has given us a place to record our YouTube episodes, so we got to give him a nice little round of applause for that.
Clap for myself.
He's a great travel buddy. He's a
Yeah.
great associate to have, a great colleague to have. Like I said, he works for a great foundation. He's worked for great foundations. He's a great nonprofit digital expert. And
He doesn't steal from the library.
I don't. I did, and then I learned.
well, on that note, he's not perfect. So, not everybody
But
can
you
be.
learn from it.
But yeah, you learn from it. No, I don't. Hey, man. Hey. Les Miserables, baby. That's all I gotta say. Aladdin. We're all in the same wave, motherfuckers. You gotta, get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in. Cliche. So this is leaking to the choir. Like I said, we're not church-based over here, but we like to preach to the choir, and we like piss on the choir. We like to leak. No, we like to be snitches. Do we? Do we like any of those things? No, maybe not. But where can we find Mark? One more time.
You can find me on Instagram at Mark Climaco, MarcClimaco, or on YouTube with my YouTube channel called The Life of Mark, one word.
Talk about real quick about the show that you're developing with your brother, or the
yeah. Well, we're doing an episode soon, right? We're gonna talk about our experience in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I should have recorded more, but we're gonna do a recap of our Philippine trip.
God.
We went to Bohol.
That's right.
The Bohol Islands in the Philippines. Beautiful, beautiful place.
It is.
I'm really excited to and then I made Vince do quite a lot of interesting things over there.
So I got that video one day. We're going to release that, me eating a duck egg. That was disgusting.
Balut challenge.
A live duck egg. Well, not live, but as live as it gets.
boiled duck.
Yeah,
but it has the fetus in it.
Too much carnage for me. Carnage.
Is that how are duck eggs different from eggs?
They're the same.
It's not an embryo. It's
But yeah, you eat an embryo. You boil it.
Georgia would probably throw me in jail.
It's an egg with
Arkansas.
a bird in it.
So it's not like the yolk with the...
No. You see the
It's
head.
like you're eating an actual stem cell. It's I felt like fucking Christopher Reeves. I was just like...
Oh, that's different.
It was fucking nasty. It was, oh my God. But anyway,
new level.
Real quick before we get to Jamie's taglines, her accounts, what I found fascinating was the age gap. Touch on that real quick that you have with your brother.
Yeah, my brother is 14 years old. I'm 20 years older than him. And so he's featured on my YouTube vlog. We're just experiencing life together as two brothers with a 20-year difference.
It's my favorite part, by the way. It's really... People don't really touch on that.
Because you grew up so differently.
Very different.
Exactly.
I mean, we're very different.
Same family, completely different people.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's why it's
different
fascinating.
times,
And you'd be
different
fascinated too,
technology.
Jamie. You'd really
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
already I'm like, okay.
So we're doing a lot more together now, just to kind of highlight that difference.
Awesome.
Now that he's gonna start high school in the fall, so I just want to be that big brother who's like, here's what you need to know before high school.
Trust no one. No.
Trust no one.
Shout out to my Bohol buddy, Mark Anthony, and shout out to Richie, who he
Yes.
talks about on the show. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Shout out to Bohol. We're gonna go back to Palawan.
We are.
We're going to Palawan next time.
Palawan, and the original place we were supposed to go, Boracay, which got...
It got shut down, and that's why we had to scramble 2 weeks before we had to go. 2 weeks, right? It was very short.
Shout out to Mark though. You really cleaned that up for us.
Yeah. So everybody who got shut out of Boracay went to Bohol. It was a huge party in there.
It was.
Yeah. Oh my God! It was so
one of my favorite trips ever.
Yeah, it's a lot of Israelis, a lot of French people. Half those people were French.
Spaniards. It was all types of people, man. It was crazy.
A lot of Euros.
A lot of Koreans.
Brazilians. Yeah, a lot of Koreans.
Oh my God.
A few
and
Brazilians.
They were afraid to get a tan. They were putting loads of fucking lotion, and they had umbrellas on their head.
Oh my God, the weirdest thing.
They had spacesuits.
I was offended. I was like, why are you coming to my beach in my country with this full body
tell them the
suit
cultural
on?
thing. Why that's
Get
happening.
out.
The bleaching. Tell them about the bleaching.
It's a colonial thing. It's like a race. It's a racist thing. You know.
He couldn't find tanning lotion. We found it, but it was a struggle.
It was buried in a store.
Well, right, because the belief is if you have lighter skin,
you're more pretty. You're deemed more beautiful
because it means you're more affluent. And
exactly. Because you're at home and you're not in the farm somewhere.
Yeah. And that's a lot of places. And it's funny because in America, the more tan you are, the more you're on vacation.
Yes.
That's hilarious. That's
I would just think the more you're from New Jersey.
Oh shit! Fuck New Jersey. Except for the marijuana law, they need to bring that back. Shout out to fucking my man Murphy. He needs to get that law passed. It's actually the most comprehensive marijuana legislation, even though it failed.
Oh.
But because they were trying to get people, there was a provision in there to have more minorities own the business because 90% of all marijuana farms are owned by white men.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Interesting.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem.
Especially when you have like a lot of people in prison or people of color.
Exactly.
You
So
know?
they didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Same thing with Prohibition. We don't want to make that same mistake
Yeah.
where only the Kennedys owned all the fucking distilleries and shit.
Yeah.
So, and another reason why I failed is because there was a lot of pushback for what you just said for the retroactive of expunging their record.
Right.
California currently
Yeah.
has the biggest one, but this actually was going to be bigger. It was going to be, I believe, 4 ounces, and that is more. That is less than the leeway in California.
Yeah.
So more people will have their records expunged. More people will be released. So I think a lot of people were afraid of that. I don't know what the
But
case
if it's
may
like
be.
a minor drug offense, they shouldn't have been in there in the first place.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir, motherfuckers. So, thank you for that. Where can we find you, Jay-Z? You can find it with me, too.
Yeah,
Just saying.
as usual, at NotThatJayZ on Instagram and Twitter. That's
Your
it.
website?
My website, notthatjayz.com. There's not that much there, but...
There's enough.
You know, there's
If you want to hire her for a film, get on there.
that's where you'll find my
TV show,
contact info.
get on that ass.
And that's... So where do we find you?
You can find us on Keep Up, Shut Up on Facebook. You can find us as well on Keep Up NYC. That is on Instagram. You can find me personally on Still Been Sane, but she pops up as well on there. She gets in my stories.
I comment.
We're trying to get more marketing on there, so that's my bad. Actually, I slowed down on that, but we'll. Oh, shout out to Maria, who getting a lot of shout outs this
Does
fucking
her
episode. But yeah,
graphic
she
design
does,
stuff.
and yeah, she worked on a project recently. And she's still in school. She's about to graduate, do her thing. I'm very proud of her. So like I said, Still Been Sane for Twitter. Anything, man. To be honest, I'm on a lot of social media platforms. I'm on TikTok now. I'm on I love social media. I love pushing the boundaries of marketing. But thank you for joining us on this week's episode. Again, Keep Up, episode 47, Leaking to the Choir. You better listen up, shut the fuck up, and keep up with Still Been Sane.
Not that Jay-Z.
Mark Lamaka.
Over and out, homies.